Hello and welcome to Stillness in Success. I'm your host, Mustafa Nuristani. And now, people often have great ideas, but they don't know how to develop that into a business. Today, I'm talking to someone who is an expert in allowing individuals to access their full potential and make their dreams come true. Joining me today is Gorgeous Lay, business coach. Hello, Gorgeous. Nice to have you.
How are you?
It's good to have you on the show. Now, I've met business coaches before, but I actually want to know, how do you really develop an individual where they're completely lost, they have an idea, but they're completely lost where to start, and they don't even know who they are? And then they find you, and then what does that look like? What do you take them through?
So the first thing we do is I get them to understand and get me to understand who they are and what is their purpose. By understanding what is their purpose, but then they go, oh, I just want to make money. However, if that is the case, then we take one step back and we take an inventory of their skills and their assets and what are you good at? What are you happy doing? And my question is always, what are you happy doing? And they go, I want to make money, but that is beside the point. If you're happy doing what you want to do, then money will just come. And so therefore, regardless, so at the moment I am doing a lot of business coaching in setting up people for the NDIS business. Now this is a wide open space. Unless NDIS, if you don't know it, is a national disability insurance government funding, which helps a business provide services for people with disability. And so in this space, there's lots of standard things, home care and things that you take for granted, taking people out for coffee. They're thinking, well, yeah, I can get paid for taking people out for coffee. But you don't appreciate that the person with this disability is socially anxious. They cannot leave the house unless there is someone there to support them. So what is easy for us is not easy for the person with the disability. And so unless the business owner appreciates this, they will not be able to see the person's need for it. So unless you have an appreciation for the disability, you won't be able to see it. So the person sitting in front of you could be talking just as me and you, but they have this social anxiety. And unless you actually appreciate that, you won't be able to see their disability. And so when you go into this business space, you must be able to appreciate and want to support people. And so my first question is, okay, so you want to help people with disability. What space are you in? Are you a family with lots of children, and that's the space that you hang around with? Those are the people. Or are you in an adult space? What space are you in? So that's how we start looking at where a person is and actually pull out their full potential.
Beautiful. That's very beautiful. And it's such a beautiful space to be in because you're allowing people to also access this service and live their life at a much more comfortable and more fulfilling way. Because if someone has disability and they're not able to leave the house, then they find someone who's compassionate, who's caring. Yes, they are getting paid for it, but the compassion and care and the heart value is there. And so they have a companion that takes them out and, allows them to also feel part of the society. Because, in Melbourne, Australia, we are a big coffee drinking city. So going out for a coffee is a really nice outing that people always enjoy and we take for granted.
Yes.
But these people are really allowing your clients are allowing the people with disability to have the same luxuries, quote unquote, that we also enjoy. Now, I want to know a little bit about you, Gorgeous. Tell me about an experience that's been life-changing for you.
I think walking into the NDIS has been life-changing, but and it's opened up my eyes to a whole different world. However, walking into Transcendental Meditation has changed my life completely more, physically and mentally.
Okay, so Transcendental Meditation, for those who don't know, is a mental technique that is practiced for just 15, 20 minutes. It's got a lot of research behind it, 700. And so you practice TM, which is short for Transcendental Meditation. And what has it given you? Why has it been life-changing?
There's not enough words to express the mind and body change. So I've been doing it for 3 years now. And my origin is an IT, a bachelor's degree in IT. So as soon as I get out of college, I'm wired to the computer, and it was Y2K. So this body has gone through a massive amount of stress, and you wouldn't believe how much stress your body is going through each day just to keep you sane and calm and walking the distance every day. And it's not until I've done this TM for 3 years, I'm seeing the results where I can see the difference in the stressed body and the non-stressed body. It's completely amazing because when you are not stressed, your mind has a lot of clarity and you're able to make decisions quicker, you're more decisive, but in a calm and collective manner. As a project manager, I'm always on the run and you have to make decisions quickly. But this decision is based on fear. Fear of, I have to meet this deadline. I have to please the boss. I have to get this done. The computer is going to crash. Fear, fear, fear. But when you step back and you go, okay, do I really have to do this now? Run a mile a minute, kill myself? Is it going to make a difference? You see that clarity so much more. And now when people rush me, I just say, is it really necessary that I stress myself, my mind and body for your fear of not achieving something? So the clarity has come through 200%. And I find that I cannot express it enough how clear my mind and my body is after 3 years of practice.
Beautiful. Now, 3 years is a long time. Have you always been good at meditating, or is it this practice that you've stuck to?
It's this practice. So I, as a life coach, I've been through 2018. Before that, 2015, life turned upside down. I walked away from a very stressful restaurant. And for that point, it was like, okay, I've done IT, I've done finance, I've done mortgage broking, I've done a car dealership, and then I walked into a restaurant just for the fun of it, and now my body's like so stressed out. It was like, and I was in this zombie mode. What is next? What am I doing next? I've sort of seemed to have gone around the world and back. So what is the next thing? So I took my time. To be honest, I love Australia and the Australian government system. It was a time where I can say, okay, I paid my tax and I am going to sign up for Centrelink and just kick back and give my mind and body time to recover. And if I was in Vietnam, I'd be out in the streets. Here in Australia, I had doctors, I had people taking care of me, I had people taking care of my mental well-being, asking, checking in on me, and every step of the way. So I was able to actually stand back, recover, and actually ask, what am I going to do now? So hence I bumped into life coaching. From there, I learned so many modalities, from hypnosis to meditations to different perspective of neuro-linguistics programming. Takes you into quantum physics, takes you into the minds and so many different ways of thinking. And from that point, I started to listen and learn all the things you hear about affirmations, everything you hear about gratitude. It takes time for the mind to change. It takes time for you to change years and years of habits. So I started doing all that. And then in 2022, it was a lazy Sunday, and I go, I want to do something different. And believe it or not, I saw TM on a meetup group, and I go, yeah, I'll go out and meditate. This would be cool. A nice Sunday afternoon. Came in to TM, and Mustafa did the presentation. Amazing. And I was like, it was a technology. I thought, wow, I'm in. So from that point on, it was regular practices. But like any learning, any practices, and more so with personal development, you are changing the mind and the body. So it has to take time to sink in. It's like, how long does it take to marinate anything? So when you dive into it and you practice it as 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, you figured not too much time, but maybe a lot of time. But when you start doing it and when you go in, this is the only meditation technique that I've learned that I'll just go into alpha. It was like 1, 2, 3, I'm gone. But it makes a lot of sense because guided meditation, well, the idea of meditation is to shut down the mind. But when you're listening to your the guidance and you need to follow instruction, what happens? The mind needs to follow the instructions. So the mind is still awake. So it does not make sense why you need to be listening to instructions and then trying to shut down the mind. Does not make sense at all. So in Transcendental Meditation, you're in a silent meditation. You're listening to yourself. And the more you go in, the deeper you go. It's an amazing technique. And so simple, yet very effective. But you need to be able to have the regular practice and to let your mind and body soak into it.
Beautiful. What a nice way. Now let's have a cup of tea. Now our friends at Maharishi Ayurveda have sent us this Vata tea because we're moving into Vata season right now.
Ah, lovely.
And it's really delicious. So thank you, Maharishi Ayurveda. Do you like it?
Oh, it's lovely. It has a sweet tone to it.
Yes, it's licorice and ginger and cardamom. So It's all beautiful. Now, let's talk about you as a business coach moving back into your life. You know, you very candidly talked about how you went from all of these different professions to doing nothing. And then you took a step back, reevaluated, took all of your experience in those different fields and became a business coach. How has this TM practice helped you be a better coach?
Oh, gosh, because I'm so calm and so clear right now in everything I do, I'll tell you an example. I went to a meditation retreat weekend. It was just Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon. And in these weekends, what we do is shut down, complete shutdown. No phones, no computers, nothing. All we do is eat, sleep, and meditate and do a bit of yoga. I mean, come on, what more do you want on a weekend? And there was, everyone was there, the coordinators were there to pamper you, basically tell you where things are happening, but you don't have to keep track of anything. Your only responsibility is to eat, sleep, and to be yoga and meditation for 2.5 days. When you come out of there, you can feel that your system is completely shut down. And when you come out of it, when you're driving, all of a sudden you realize, whoa, life is really happening really fast at the moment. And even even I took the Monday off because I could feel the energy around really, really fast. And those of you who come from the country will relate to this. When you come out from a country, the country towns, and there's not much busyness, and you come into the smoke, the big smoke, and you feel the energy, the cars, the white noise, everyone feels it. And so this is what it was like. Anyway, so I had the Monday off to myself. Tuesday, I walked into an audit. Everything that went wrong, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And the audit was canceled. And I was like, okay, but I was in such a Zen mode. I was floating on air, and you could not make me upset in any way or form or trigger a reaction at all. And so the client was really, really upset. He had to pay another $1,000 to have a follow-up. But it was the most amazing because when you yourself are calm and your head is clear, the person next to you, no matter how upset they are, and I can tell you he was smoking, but there's no amount of anger he could throw at me to make me react at all. Because I was so calm and I was in this beautiful Zen mode. It's like, okay, we'll fix everything. And he just looks at me like, there's no use being angry at you, honey. So that's what it's like. It's like when you are calm and clear, the next person becomes calm and clear. And therefore, you affect the people around you. So, in high pressure situation, you, by being calm yourself, you completely bring calmness into the room, and that creates a whole clear atmosphere in all businesses.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's really true that when we are calm, we exude that calmness. And then we're living life on that level of clarity and peace. And it is chaotic outside and, everyone is stressed. But why allow that to throw you off your balance?
Yeah.
Why be the victim of everyone else's stress and strain? You could live your life and enjoy your life and still be productive and focused and efficient. And so that's what you're describing, which is really beautiful. And I think, my experience of my first retreat was incredible. I've been practicing Transcendental Meditation since 2010. And it allowed me to experience this silence that is already there. I was somehow tapping into that silence and just living life from that level of quietness. And there's no, people are so stressed and they need the radio to keep the mind going, and they need, the windows are down and everything is lots of noise, and because the mind is very noisy. Now, when the mind is clear, you don't even need the radio. You're like, there's no need to be listening to any distractions. I'll just enjoy the silence, which is golden. So very good, gorgeous. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
I totally encourage everyone to take the journey, because until you actually step over the line, you can't see the other side. I mean, you can stand on this side and look at where the grass is greener on the other side, but until you actually walk over, actually experience it, it's a life-changing. And I think everyone needs to, because we are in such a stressful society. And noise makes you tired. It's a scientific proven fact. Noise makes you tired. That's why if you find yourself wanting to have the radio on all the time, wanting to have the TV on all the time, needing the noise all the time, your body is so stressed, you wouldn't believe, to trying to keep you calm and sane. So if you see these stressful symptoms, life can be so much better. And I encourage you to take the journey.
It's beautiful. And, also when we are living life on that level of quiet, then we meet beautiful people. We attract good people in our lives as well. And has that been your experience, where you're attracting good clients and people who are, really flowing with you and are synced with you?
Oh, definitely. Every step, everywhere I go. Those lucky people that you say, oh, they're so lucky. Everywhere they go, they get the freebies and they get the free upgrades at the air flight and so that. Those are the people that have the calm and clarity that the other person. So when you're meeting someone with such calmness and clarity, just like a monk or a priest, they have so much meditation and calmness and quietness. When you see them, it's so attractive because your body and your mind wants it. And so you want more of this person. It's not the person you really want. It's the calmness and the clarity that this person has. And if you think that when the next time you meet the priest and the monk, why this person is so attractive to you, it's his peace and his calmness. And when you meet that kind of person, you just want to pour your heart to it. And vice versa, if you are the person in this calm and clarity space, you got everybody and everything at your feet. And it's not because it's not a manipulation, it's just a natural effect. And so before I was a bull. I would bulldoze everything and run after everything, you know. And I was one of those terrifying female that goes, why can't I have that? And then I see these people that just does nothing, literally does very little to nothing, and gets everything coming onto their plate. And now I understand why. So it's definitely...
It's a beautiful, beautiful idea, beautiful thought. And we are deeply grateful to you for making the time and coming and speaking with us. I'm sure everyone is enjoying this conversation. Now, thank you, gorgeous. Oh, before we go, our friends at Maharishi Ayurveda have sent you a little gift. Here's your little vata tea, because we knew you would like it. And so they decided to give you so you can enjoy that at home.
This is really lovely. It really... licorice, cardamom, ginger, and more. Yes, you can taste the licorice, and the ginger actually does help you warm up in the winter, and it does work.
Beautiful. So you've tried it before.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
It's one of my favorites.
Okay, perfect. So that's all for this episode of Stillness in Success. I'm your host, Mustafa Nuristani. Join us next week for another edition of this wonderful conversation that I get to have with these really beautiful people from all different fields of life. Until next time, take care.